Okay, so I want you to prepare yourself, okay? You're going to go to a party.
Okay.
Right now. We're going to a very busy party. Lots of friends. Some people you know, some people you don't. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
How do you feel about parties? Tell me.
I get excited. I love them.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you prefer larger crowds? How do you feel like, say you're in one room, let's say hall,
Look,
that's got like wood and...
I need a quiet space. I can't do it when there's a lot of noise. I can't be there.
Okay, yep.
Yes,
And
but I
if
do
the
like to
noise-
talk to people. I love talking to people.
And what if the noise is bouncing around? Do you notice that if the sound is bouncing around the walls?
Not bouncing around. I'm just trying to listen to what people are saying and have them hear me, and that's probably the hardest thing.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, please, tell me more.
Oh, and it just gets louder and louder, and I'm trying to listen, and I can't hear, and it's taking up a lot of energy.
Yep.
How about yourself?
Yeah. Yes. I can't concentrate. And that's what I've noticed when I go to parties. I reckon I can get to about 25 minutes.
Do you get invited to parties?
There's not many.
No.
Not many. When I do, and even when I think back to when I was younger,
Yes.
all the sounds would just become blurred like that.
Yes.
I just wouldn't be able to concentrate, and I just got very good at pretending that I could hear what these people were saying.
Yes.
I'm got really good at that. I can't hear a damn word they're saying, but I'm nodding and I'm laughing
Yeah.
and just hoping that they're not going to ask a question.
That's true. And I'm actually very good at pretending that I do not. And if they ask me a question about that, then I can defer the question and ask them a question because I didn't actually hear what their question was.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I thought that was a nice audio experience.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's probably going to be incredibly annoying for the people who actually want to listen to this, but that's our experience. That's the way we feel, and
Yes.
it'd be interesting if people wanted to tell us about how they go about dealing with parties, and do they have any ways of dealing it. And considering the fact that our podcast is called Late to the Party,
Yes, it's
I
perfect.
thought it was quite
Fitting.
yes. Anyway, how about we get on with the podcast?
Let's do it.
So, how was your week?
Well, I actually had a bit of a week. I had a week. I actually quit my part-time job.
What?
Shock. I know. I did. I was kind of suppressing the difficulty I was having with it for quite a while. Well, I've only been there for 2 months.
Right.
But I guess how the boss liked to run things was not how I guess I live my life.
How was he running things for you to actually quit, though?
Oh, well, there was lots of screaming and yelling at, not me, but I mean, in general, to everybody really.
What?
Swearing. I know you don't say the F word, but there was lots of F words.
Wow.
Banging, fists on tables. And I guess for me, the end point was him calling people effing spastics.
Wow.
Yes, that was it for me.
And this is where I would want to report him.
That's
the
in
ombudsman.
the process of that, and to WorkSafe as well. So the three of us resigned on the one day, and
That's
it felt so good, but at the same time I still feel a bit eye twitchy. I still feel like
no,
that.
it would.
How about your week?
Well, I didn't quit, although I could have because I went for a job last week, and I'm still waiting. And it was you can probably appreciate that I sent an email off the week
Yes.
previously to say, how did it go? What's the update?
Yes.
And he replied at the start of this week, so I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you by the end of the week. Well, he has not got back to me by the end of the week, and I find that extremely annoying. And
Yes.
I will probably say that to him when he bothers to call, whether I get the job or not, to say that's not appropriate. You need to keep us up to date.
That's well. How do
It's not
you feel your autism affected the interview?
I told them
Are you told like at the start or beforehand?
during. I haven't done that before, but I wanted to see what sort of reaction I would get. And
So why did you tell them?
I think it's important for me. I find it important to, if I can talk about my autism, I will. It sort of harkens a bit back to my atheism, and within the atheist community, they do talk about it being a bit like in the closet.
Yes.
Similarly, like it's like that when you, particularly in places that are more religious, when you come out as a non-believer, it can be a very big deal, and it can change your life for the better and also for the worse, particularly with family. And so one of the hosts I like listening to said that if you feel like you're able to be open, to be out of the closet, or however you want to term it, the better other people are going to be. So the more people talk about it and discuss it, the more normal it's going to feel for everyone else, the more informed other people are going to be with what autism's about.
So so you said it, and then what did they say? Because they have to kind of pretend that it's all
I know.
normal.
I clicked disability because I wanted to see what happens in this situation.
Ah.
And I asked them...
When you say click disability, you mean in the application form?
Yeah, in the application, yeah. And I did, and they didn't ask. So I said, I mentioned disability. Would you like to know? And they said, sure, okay, if you feel comfortable. And so I then told them, because I wanted to tell them that the truth, which is that my understanding of my autism has made me better in my job.
Yes.
And I wanted to say that.
Yes.
And I don't feel the need to hide that. Doesn't mean everyone should or could do that, but I know I can, so I do.
Yes, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I have my evil ex-boss now who, he didn't believe in NDIS. He was, he just said people with mental health issues are making it up. And so I certainly didn't feel comfortable. And and you might be wondering why would I even be staying there in the first place? But the money was good. So I was just, and it was only 2 months and I could not handle it anymore. So, it's interesting. But I just wouldn't. I did tell someone there because their sister had autism, and so I felt it was a safe space for me to discuss it.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair enough.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get this job, and who knows if you're going to get a new job. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
I don't think I want one. Okay.
Now, the topic for this week.
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, gosh, now you've put me on the spot. It's I could tell you, well, the topic is... I guess being diagnosed and then looking back on your life. Is that what the word is?
A little bit, yeah. I titled it Diagnosis Fallout. I don't know if it's always the right terminology, but I couldn't think of anything else.
Yes,
See,
it's on the top of the page.
Yeah, the top of the page.
Made me panic.
I gave you a chance.
Yes.
And so what I've been doing is I've been looking, obviously thinking about it from my perspective, but also wanted to see if we could find something out there from other people.
Yeah.
And I did come across a Guardian article from Professor Sandra Tom Jones, who's actually just released a book, I think this week, called Growing into Autism. And I found what she had to say in the article incredibly informative, and I shared a lot of the same experiences. Okay. So I thought that was a good start maybe to talk about this article.
All right, sounds good.
It's probably going to be me heavy, so just butt in whenever you want to.
I will butt in. And will you put the article in the show notes?
Of course I will.
Okay, great. So I'm butting in whenever I feel like it.
Whenever you feel like it.
I love doing that.
So, Sandra Tom Jones. So she says that the realisation that she was autistic came slowly and in pieces. And I think, for me, I share that experience. She also mentions in the article that she was counselled by her university careers advisor that she didn't have the people skills for her career of choice, which...
I want to know what that was. What was it?
Well, interestingly enough, this is exactly what she does now. If you look her up, you'll see the sort of... She's got a lot of hats. She wears a lot of hats, and a lot of it is sort of advocacy and things like that. So she is very good at this job, very good at communicating, and so they were dead wrong about that. So her experience into getting her diagnosis was that her son came along and educators, when he was very young, suggested he might have ADHD. So, like so many of us back then, she associated ADHD with different and seemingly more sort of extreme characteristics.
Yes.
The sort of kids that I used to look after back in the 90s. Yeah. Nothing really happened. She didn't really go through to check that diagnosis. Her second son, though, was diagnosed at 2 for autism. And then later on, her first son got into high school and he was just struggling, social issues and relationships. So she wanted to find some support for him. He got diagnosed autistic as well. So she saw a lot of herself in that first son. And she did ask him, she said, do you think it's possible that I'm autistic? And I'll quote this verbatim, he said, I was ready for him to laugh or express surprise at such a crazy thought. But instead he said, yeah, I'm sure you are. Where do you think we got it from? So with some trepidation, I asked my husband the same question. His response was not what I expected. I've known that since I met you. So she still didn't seek a diagnosis. So for a while, she just felt like she was too old for any kind of intervention or support.
Can I do my jump in bit?
Please.
So that whole bit there, this is the exact same thing happened to you with your daughter and your wife. I mean, I know I talked about it last week about, you know, that I thought that you were and we thought you were, but then I think you had the conversation, and I think your daughter, after she was diagnosed, she then said, made some comment about, well, you know, your dad's autistic as well. So I remember that. I thought it was quite funny.
So it wasn't just you two, it was my children as well.
I think it was actually everybody.
Everybody. Okay. Well, not everyone.
No. Yes, keep going.
She thought, well, considering what we were talking about before, she thought it was going to affect her career by, you know, there's a stigma associated and stereotypes around autism still, which is why I like to talk about it. She ended up asking the psychologist at the same place that we go to. Exactly the same support place that we've gone to see our psychologist.
Really?
This is where she went as well, and her children went. And so she wanted to talk to them, and when she asked them, they said, "You don't have a diagnosis already?" I'd assumed. In my notes I've written, "Mother is autistic."
Yes.
So everyone, like you just said, assumed that was the case. Like me, she was actually quite nervous that she wouldn't get the diagnosis.
Right.
For me, it was like a 180-degree flip once I made the decision. So first it was like, oh, no. And then when I made that choice, I was like, oh, God,
yes.
I really hope I am. Shit, come on.
Yeah, I would be. Did you just swear? Because you said last time you actually don't swear.
I don't. I say this shh word.
Oh.
I do say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really quite interesting. Okay.
Now, the actual diagnosis, this is the stuff I have to talk about because you're not diagnosed. So it'll be interesting to see your commentary on why you didn't go through what this process is. I think most of the people who listen to this podcast know what the tests and the interviews are, and they try to bring in family members and so forth, particularly parents, just to get some sort of childhood history. We all know that sort of stuff. My diagnosis was difficult in that case because there was no one. My parents were gone, my grandparents are gone. There was essentially no one left to talk about my childhood. There is a couple of people who have been in communication. I should talk about that later. It was an interesting phone call I had with a friend that I hadn't talked to in years.
Right.
Well, anyway, so I think many adults have developed strategies to compensate or cover up their traits. So it can be difficult for interviewers to sometimes pick up autism. And do you think that? I think that might be the case with you, Jeff. If you went through that diagnosis, how would you have been a couple of years back, going through that, and with the masking, compared to if you went and did it now? Do you think there'd be a difference?
Well, like before I thought I was. If I did the test before I thought I was autistic, I don't know if it would work. Okay, I don't think any of this stuff would work on me because I could be whoever I feel like being on any given day. I will take off that entire, the whole role. I will go in and be that person.
What about if you were self-diagnosed, you were at that point where you were.
Yes.
You still didn't have a good hold on masking or having controls over that. I mention... For me, the terminology for not masking is called home base. I call it home base.
Okay.
And to not know home base and then go through that diagnosis process, as opposed to now, where you have a better idea of what home base is for yourself, that you can take the masks off. Would they be able to pick up different? Would they find it easier now to diagnose you than 2 years ago?
Only if I allow them to. It's really difficult because you're saying you go home base and take the masks off.
Yep.
I'm not taking off a big mask because I was exhausted. I enjoyed being in those masks.
Yeah.
It's like having multiple personalities.
He did say at the start, and I guess because he's got experience with this, he did say, I know this is hard, but I want to talk to you without the masks.
Who's he?
The psychologist who actually put him through the diagnosis actually said that, which was actually quite helpful. I did try my best to to not.
So when I've spoken to psychologists in the past,
Yeah.
Jackie, whoever else, I think to myself, you only know the tiny bit. You maybe know 5% of me. You don't know all the things. And for me to give you all of that information, it would take a very, very long time.
Yep.
So I could only give her this one side of me, this one little 5%. And then the other psychologist, who we had the same one, same thing. She knows a little bit. And there's all these things I think I could tell you this, but no, I don't want you to know those things about me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I can't.
Interesting.
I can't. Like serial killer.
Well, I obviously did pretty well because I got the diagnosis.
Yes.
I was honest, and I think I have a bit of a tear as well.
Are you saying I'm not honest?
Exactly, no.
Right, but there's been a lot of things, say, with your wife, your lovely wife, who along the way, how I'll go, oh, by the way, and I don't think we're not going to say any of those things, but oh, by the way, I did this when I was younger, and she'll be very shocked because it's not who I am now.
Now, I wanted to quote someone else as well, just quickly before we sort of move on
Sure.
to a little bit of the history of it. Jessica Louise, she works for the ABC. She's also quite a talented photographer.
Right.
We've sort of been in communication the last few months. I saw a post that she put on one of the Facebook pages, and I just thought it was a fantastic quote, so I just wanted to read it out. She said, "It would inform and reframe how I think, feel and interact in and understand the world. It was not a missing puzzle piece to fill an empty space, though, but rather it was a lens to give a vibrant new perspective through which I would learn to see the world."
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that, because then when you get your diagnosis or not, like with me, you then just reevaluate. I'm not going to say it's every conversation I ever had, but with every friendship or every person, interaction with friends, that I would reevaluate. Oh, well, I had autism, so that would explain that. Did you find that as well?
Yes.
And then you
Still
contacted.
going through that.
Oh, yeah, still going through all the people.
Yeah, still going through all the people, still trying to... I feel like I'm re-establishing friendships.
Right.
And at the moment I'm feeling very, very uncomfortable, very not myself, because I'm not being what they know as myself.
But so
anymore.
interesting, because you have, like, say, a solid, say, three friends.
Yes.
And nothing has changed with them, from my point of view.
No, it's just changed in me. I find myself almost second guessing everything I say and do. And are they noticing me behaving any differently than I was before? Because I certainly feel like I'm behaving differently.
But you're surely comfortable enough to ask them that as well?
Yeah, I think we said this. I think we talked about this last time, and I still haven't.
Ah, well, you should. Well, by next time you will have.
Okay, well, I'll quickly tell you that I did talk to a very old friend who I've known. We were in the same hospital,
Yes.
and my mum and his mother became best friends, and we actually moved in next door to them. So I've known that family. They've been like a second family my whole life. I ended up calling him up because we're very, very different individuals, and so I know he's one person who I can ask for an honest appraisal.
Yes.
What was I like as a child? He's my age, so I wanted to get someone's perspective like that. I had a really open, frank conversation with him, which I never would have had before, and essentially told him he annoys me,
Yes.
and that I feel like now after the conversation that I could actually say that. Like,
Yes.
you really, I'll say it again, you
It's
give me the
freeing.
shits, mate. And he laughed and said, well, I'll just go for a run around the block and just get all the excess energy out, And so it was a really good conversation. And I'm also going to talk to his mother as well.
Won't tell her what he's done.
No, she knows plenty of what he's done. Oh, my God.
That's really interesting. No, I feel like definitely feels freeing. Yeah, absolutely. You can feel like you can just, I guess there's be yourself in that way, but I overthink everything. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
No. Okay.
Now, I thought
Yes.
we'd just quickly go to, because you're not that much younger than I am. The whole,
No.
I think it's been termed as like almost the missing generation of undiagnosed
Yes.
adults who went through their childhood and their teenage years and their young adulthood, not knowing what the hell was going on with them,
Yes.
with themselves, and struggling. So I grew up in the 80s, and there was a lot of other people, I think, in that situation who were just coming probably a little bit earlier than I have in my 40s, but have gone through the process of diagnosis and just been getting to understand them a bit more themselves, that is. So it wasn't even, where does it say that? That's right, autism was not even in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which I hate anyway, until 1980. So prior to 1980, autistic people weren't even listed in that manual. So that generation and generations prior grew up when understanding, something's wrong with the writing here.
Oh, it's not you though, is
No,
it?
it's
It's
not
not
me.
you. It's the
No, it's a writing. I don't know what that says. That generation and generations prior grew up when understanding was very limited. That's me reading the sentence incorrectly. It does make sense. And I just
yes.
remember I looked at this earlier and I was correct. That generation and generations prior grew up when understanding was very limited.
I love that. I did look at it I did look earlier, and I was correct.
Yes. Leaving generations of autistic people undiscovered or missed. I like that idea of the undiscovered country.
Yes.
So when you do start talking to people about the fact that you're autistic, the bit that's really annoying me that I'm going to have to go through is, those old chestnuts. Like, oh, we're all a bit autistic, or, well, we all feel that way at times, those sorts of responses. And I'm still trying to work on the best responses, but I have recently said that, sure, yeah, we all do feel particular things like anxiety, but the difference is between you and me is that I felt anxious all the time, to the point that I didn't even recognise it as anxiety because I had never felt anything else, ever. And it wasn't until I was on some medication that I actually had some perspective to go, wow, this is not how other people think. This is not how other people go through their day, having 1,000 little mini anxiety attacks every day of their life. So that's how I responded to them. What about you?
I've not had anybody that's actually said that to me. They say it about my children. What do you mean? They're fine. They're, everyone, as you said, like, oh, we're all a bit like that. But when I've said it about myself, I haven't found anyone question it. Maybe I have a don't fuck with me look on my face when I tell them that, because I either don't say it at all, or I say it and I say it strong and I say it, a bit fierce. Maybe I'm a bit fierce with it, but yeah, that's how I feel. But back to say,
well, yeah, I think that's where we are different. Is that I am, I suppose, a bit more vulnerable, and the people who I'm going to be talking to about this stuff, there's a history of vulnerability as well.
See, I am masking though, because I am vulnerable, and I've got massive anxiety. But I don't have an attack. I don't have meltdowns. I just, or I'm not saying you have meltdowns, but I just, I have like, it's probably ADHD as well, but a lot of things going through my head all the time. But I could think back to, if you said to me, remember when you went on that holiday, I could tell you the things that I had anxiety about on that time, or when you did whatever it is. I can remember how I felt in a negative way about everything that's ever happened to me.
Okay. Whereas I didn't recognise anxiety at all. It was just the way I thought.
But I didn't know that other people, I never thought about it. I never thought, those other people, they're not worried that the petrol is going to run out in the car and there's going to be a crocodile that jumps out and gets me. Yeah.
You assume everyone's going to be, it's like this whole new paradigm of, oh, wow, there are different ways of thinking out there. And it was shocking.
Yes.
I do have a question for you about the fact that you have gone officially undiagnosed.
Oh, yes.
I found something on the Spectrum-y page, which is a Facebook page. It's really awesome. And it was from someone called at Mega something. And they said, undiagnosed neurodivergence is like being handed a video game that has been set to hard mode, but having people tell you over and over it's on easy. Why do you keep dying? Diagnosis is learning the game is on hard mode. It doesn't make it easier, but you can strategize.
Yes, I love that. So for me, where we are probably quite different is that if I found something hard, I would just repeat, and say for that video game, I would do it until I didn't die in the game and I was the best. And that's what I would probably say I do. That's why I'm such a people person, because I've just watched and analysed people so much over time that I can even anticipate how people react. And I really focus on each person individually, and I feel like I can take on and their personality and know how they will respond to things.
Boy.
Is that it's a bit
Well, it's
a bit heavy?
It's just not what I do.
No, it's not what you do. So, I mean, I'll even do that with... It's really cheap because I don't have to go to the psychologist. I think, oh, well, what would this person say? What would the psychologist say? Oh, they'd say this. And
Okay.
it helps.
Yeah, I think the closest I come to it is I mirror really well. I'll just look at the situation and the people and the way that they talk, the way they interact, and I'll just mirror back to them what they do.
Right.
So I'm not giving anything of myself, but I'm really good at... that's why I tend to be good at interviews and in office settings, because I will just mirror whatever the needs are of that person are.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, I'm really great at interviews as well, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
We should have like an interview off thing. You know, I'm great at interviews because I know exactly what it's not rocket science. You know exactly what they're going to ask.
Yep.
You just tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's the
Easy.
same old boring. And when I got to interview someone, I changed it all up. It was fantastic.
Yes. So then how do you feel then that you haven't got a call back about this interview yet when you are so good at interviews they don't know what they're doing?
I was good. I was good in that interview. I really was. Yeah, I was incredibly confident. I had answers coming out the wazoo.
Yes.
And it was a really good interview.
So is there any part of you that thinks maybe it's because I said I was autistic? Yes.
It does. It does make me think.
And what do you think you would do anything differently for next time or
I
not?
probably wouldn't say it next time, just to see if how I would feel and
True.
what sort of reactions I would get. I'd just be watching their facial expressions. I don't know. No, I'd probably keep saying it anyway.
It's hard because, I mean, if you had one leg, then you're still going to have one leg at each interview that you go for. Wait, does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to verbalise it because we can't necessarily show it.
So maybe if you're going to, yes, you could say, well, I have autism. These are what what great skills I have. And then maybe you'd mention something that you're not great at, which doesn't really affect the job anyway. But so you might say, and this is how it negatively impacts me.
Yes.
So maybe that's what they want to know because they don't know how it negatively impacts you and they can't ask that either, can they?
No, they can't, but I'll be happy to tell them and have a conversation.
Yes.
Be interesting. And it has made me think that that I'd probably be good at that role as a support person for other people going into interviews.
Yes.
I think. And that's part of, I guess, why I should just keep doing that if I'm going to interviews and keep talking, because it's going to give me the experience, be it negative or positive, for other people.
Yes, you could air task it. Just put it up there and say, I help people with interviews. Oh.
Yeah, tasker.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the original article to see what you thought of it. Assuming you did. I'm assuming you've done your due diligence and homework and read the actual...
I did read it. I thought it was fine, but it's the same old story. I thought it was just the same old... I don't mean to be, but I mean, because I've heard this story so many times,
Yes.
but it's the same story for everybody that goes through their journey. Their child gets diagnosed. I think it's actually interesting that her second child, got diagnosed when he was 2, which meant he would, it's obvious symptoms of autism at 2. My daughter was diagnosed at late 2 as well, but that's because she already had 2 siblings already had autism, whereas this is the first one to have autism diagnosed. It must have been quite obvious, I guess, if that's the right way of putting it. So I found that interesting, but then for them then to go through their own, what about us? And then it probably helped with the older son as well. Okay. So it's all just... That's how it goes. I think that's the normal journey.
So how did you feel when your son was diagnosed? Like, what were your thoughts?
When my son was diagnosed, how did I feel? Well, actually, speaking to Jackie, the psychologist, afterwards as well, like last year, she said, because this is about 10 years ago, she said she was surprised and shocked at how quickly I took that on and moved on. So she told me, and then the next session I was like, right, what are we going to do? Let me know. I've looked into it. What are the services? What can I do? And she was a bit shocked. She thought that next appointment was going to be us sitting there, maybe me crying and just trying to just grieve and move through that. But I'm not that person.
Did you ask all those questions? So what are they? What you asked? I didn't ask anything like that. I got annoyed because they didn't tell me. But then I had to talk to the psychologist to say, what should I do here? Should I ask? Should I go back and say, what do I do now? I don't know. You haven't given me any information as to how to begin this because I find it so difficult to start things.
Right.
I needed that, and they weren't there to support me to do that.
Right. So I found the book, The Hidden Diffability. I can't remember who that is by, but I'm sure you'll put that in the show notes. The Hidden Diffability, it just outlined maybe it was like 10 different people's family stories of autism diagnosis.
Right.
And I just took notes for every child and for myself and for my husband. Each one had a different book. And I just took all the notes. So then that was after one of them was diagnosed. And so then I could just go for the other two children and just say, this is what I've got, because it covered everything that. And even for the girls, with my daughter, the middle one with autism, being a girl, she masked a lot. And it was, I always used to think that she was my non-autistic child. But then it became apparent after reading that book. So that is a great book for people that are just newly into more so for, maybe for adults as well.
Okay.
Yes.
With the article for me, again, the same thing was parallels with that article. But for me, the biggest confusion was, I think my issues were the result, this is before the diagnosis, I thought my issues were the result of divorce, and I was sort of under pretty abusive and sort of uncaring home conditions with the people that my parents decided to marry. And various other traumas, like the death of loved ones and so forth.
Well, it's interesting that you say that also, though, because your parents remarried, whereas...
Yes.
In a family, what do you call it? Is it nuclear family? Where you go, the child has autism. Which one of your parents is it? Or is it both of you? Whereas when you've actually, both parents have remarried, it blows those lines. Does that make sense? Because it's not like it's the two parents that are together in a loving relationship that now work through it together. Oh,
it would be so interesting if they were still alive.
Yes.
They'd probably argue with each other as who's to blame.
Yes.
That's, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure that's another common thing they go through. No, not me. It's not me.
No, that's true.
I just made sense. I had to make sense of my life and the way I went about doing things some way, and it seemed to make sense to me. And I'm sure it still obviously does play a part. Having trauma in your life, it's there, and it's going to colour everything you do.
From what I understand, trauma can just really cloud that autism diagnosis, because if you've had a lot of trauma, you can't necessarily say that is autism. I mean, I'm not saying because you obviously have had trauma, but it's hard to say, is it autism or is it not?
I think it's similar, like they say nature via nurture instead of nature versus nurture. It's both. It's both those things. One informs the other.
Yes.
Which has been weird for me because as a kid, I was told I was lazy, and that's why I wasn't doing well in school.
Yes.
And, but the weird thing was that I wasn't lazy with things I was into.
Did you think you were lazy?
No, I really didn't. I didn't, because I was, with guitar, music, writing, I was just so into it, and I picked it up so quickly. And I was certainly not lazy in learning those skills. I learned them pretty quick, and I was doing them all the time. I was, obsessive about it. So I knew that there was that can't have been, laziness can't be part of the fabric for what makes me. So it had to be something else, and of course I didn't know. So I just had to deal as best I could. But now I have the diagnosis, everything's reassessed. So I have to go back and look at those experiences and think even questions like, was my sort of coldness and oftentimes hatred to my step-parents, was that a reflection of my behaviour or was I partly to blame for that relationship?
That crossed my mind about you as well, because but also being a teenager as well. That's another element. Adds another element to it, because you're going to be a bit moody or short and whatever. And a step parent is going to be less likely to want to put up with behaviour of a teenager that's not their child. And
that's right. And I didn't give much, but also I knew from the word go that they weren't good news, and that sense of justice for me was heightened because of the fact that I think, no, you've made some poor choices, like both my parents had in who they picked as partners, and I wasn't going to make things easier for them because they weren't making things easy for me. So maybe stubbornness was certainly part of it. I don't know if that's part of my autism or not, but
Yeah.
that's something I need to think about.
Yeah. Okay.
What about your childhood? If you look back,
Yes. Well, I think that I would have said at the time and that I was incredibly shy, and I would go into the same situation. We'd go to our friend's house, family friend's house every week, at least once a week, if not more. But every time I would be like holding on to my mum and hiding my face up until maybe 10 or 11. And the people in the family would go over and they'd just say, "Oh, would you just stop? You come here every time." And it was too much. It was exciting for me, and it was too much to be going to their house because I loved being there.
Oh,
And so they were all really sick of that. That's something I thought of. But otherwise, yeah, so childhood and at school, I think my executive functioning wasn't great, and probably ADHD, inattentive, just in class and not doing homework, and actually
Yes.
honestly forgetting that I even had anything due because I was so involved in whatever it was I was doing at home.
yes, exactly.
So don't even notice, and you go, "Oops, I forgot the homework." Like, what do you mean you forgot? It's every Monday. I just forgot.
I never did homework. I did the
Yes.
last minute when I was reminded
Yes.
again. Why haven't you done it?
Same even in year 12, like doing assignments in year 12. I might do it 2 days beforehand, maybe one. But I was also a very good writer. And I always thought, I wondered whether I did that because if I did try really hard, if I failed, then it would have been a reflection of my intelligence. Whereas if I do it at the last minute, I've got that excuse. Yeah.
We had a little get together for the kids going to soccer
Yes, we did on the
weekend,
weekend.
didn't we? Which was wonderful. How would you describe it?
All things, yeah. For the kids, I think it was age 6 to 12, from memory.
Okay, yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah,
And it was all abilities, various kinds of disability. It was really fun.
it was great.
It was enjoyable. Again, watching the kids, some of them struggling, but really having a blast because it was a really positive vibe there. And then someone like my son who every day he thinks he's stupid and he struggles at school, but when it comes to things like sport, he is so confident.
Yes.
And he was just walking around. He was swaggering.
Oh, he was.
He kicked this amazing goal at the end.
Yes.
And he just, the way he was walking around was hilarious. He didn't even acknowledge anyone.
No.
Just watch,
It was like,
observe,
hey, I do
bathe.
this every day, people.
Yeah,
It's
bathe in
fun.
the glory that is me.
He loved it. It was so good. And just all the kids. But it wasn't even just about the kids. I thought it was about the parents. They were great. Everyone was just so positive and just involved with all of the kids, clapping for everybody. I know they might say that they do that anyway, at the normal sort of, I shouldn't say normal at, just like I say, let's just say a regular soccer game. But, there's always all those parents that really want their kid to excel. But here it was just, it really didn't matter, and I loved it.
But it was still fun as we got to be involved as well.
Yeah, we got to play parents versus kids.
Yes, and you were trying very, very hard not to be competitive.
I did knock a child to the ground. I did, and I felt bad, but I do get a little bit competitive. I can't help it. But then your son at the end, was that the winning goal? I can't remember, but he was like running towards me. He had it, and I thought I could take him out. No, I didn't think that, but he did really well, and I just yelled like to distract him, and he didn't actually even hear me.
No, he was so just upset. He was getting that goal.
Yes, it was just such a positive. It's just so good for these children because my daughter came away from it as well. She's like, I want to go back there.
Okay,
that was great.
That's really good. That's what we need more of.
We do.
We had during that time down there as well. We were talking to some other parents, and one of them was talking about a partner who she's aware of the fact that I've been on medication, the fluoxetine. Is that the brand name or is it the actual?
That is a brand name, I believe. You are not allowed to. I think you're not allowed on air. I don't think you're allowed to recommend a brand. Or
No,
anything
absolutely
like that.
not.
No.
So maybe
An anti-anxiety.
I'm not recommending anything. Okay. I'm just saying a name. Okay. She-Hulk.
Yes.
It's either a good or a bad TV show.
Right.
It's up to you.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm on something called fluoxetine.
Yes.
And that's the thing that's helped with my anxiety.
Right.
This person was aware of that because Jen tells everyone that's okay. And so she came up to me to ask me what should I say to my partner,
Yes.
because I think he needs it desperately.
Yes.
And it was an interesting conversation to have with her, because I could, because I've talked about this a little while now. I'm talking about it as being, for me, it was thousands of little anxieties
Yes.
rather than big. So it's not as in your face.
No.
I'm very good at hiding it all. But what about people like in that situation, particularly the parents like we're talking about who don't want to necessarily admit, but it's going to
You just
change
have to
their
hide
life.
it in his food, just mush it up and pop it in there. And then after a month say, how are you feeling? He'd be like, amazing. It's like, wow. We don't condone that either.
So we're now informing the people that we want to drug our
yes,
partners.
yeah.
Like, there's a lot of advantages to doing that. But,
Well, it's hard with an autistic person to actually convince them to try medication.
yes,
Yeah.
when they don't believe they're autistic as well.
Yes.
That's the other thing. So it's going to just be wonderful for them, but they're not going to do it.
Exactly.
That's a really tough one. And it's tough because it's tough on the partner who
Yes.
knows it's going to make their life better as well.
Yes.
And my attitude is you bloody well take it. If it's going to help your family, you take it.
So do you think
shut
you're-
up, you open your mouth,
Yes.
swallow the bloody pill.
Yes. So do you think your wife thinks that you're better off on it?
Oh,
You think she's having a better life now that
God,
you're
yeah.
on it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Not that I'd
God,
know the answer to that already, but not that she hasn't told me.
Yeah. Well, and I told her before she said anything to me.
Yes.
I just said, "Oh wow," it's just I'm considering things that I'd never considered before. I'm speaking and thinking about other people the way I'd never done that before.
So then what happens if you forget it for a day? If you forget to
did-
take it, what
yeah.
happens then?
Yeah, it sort of all starts to fade away. And I was doing that. I wasn't having it every day, and I was noticing a real difference. All of a sudden, that anxiety became creeping back, and now I know.
Right.
I understand that. Yes, that's a different feeling. I know what that is now. That's
Yes.
not nice. I don't want to be there again. So I started
Yes.
back on it
Oh,
quickly.
that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
So, want to tell us about your drugs? Whether they were
my
prescription or
drugs.
non-prescription?
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I don't actually, I don't take anything except melatonin. Actually, your wife, I think she's getting a kickback from fluoxetine, but she wants me to go on it too. I think she wants everyone around her on it.
Yes.
No, so I.
Yeah, just so all of us would just shut up.
But you know what? My problem is I'm worried that because I have anxiety, as you know, what if I have nowhere else to go? What if I take it and then there's nothing else? For now, I can always go, I could always take that if I really need it. But if I'm on it and I'm still not coping, then I don't have anywhere to go. And also, if the World War broke out and we have no more fluoxetine, then I'm up shit creek.
When that situation occurs, we're going to need our anxiety. That's when it actually kicks in and it's useful. We're going to be gods when
Yes.
the world comes to an end.
That's a
We
very
will
good
be the
point.
new rulers.
Wow. Now I'm going to think about that. That's interesting. Now, I thought, how about we... I thought we might finish up with like recommendations.
Well, we can definitely do that. I recommend that people go and check out Professor Sandra Tom Jones' Growing into Autism. That's going to be my next book after a book that I have just bought on Kindle because I can't actually read books anymore.
Oh, but you don't like the smell?
No, I get tired. I yawn.
That's the point.
Well, I want to read for a bit longer.
Okay.
I'm yawning in trains and on trains and things. It's ridiculous.
Sure.
This book is called Unmasking Autism, The Power of Embracing Our Hidden Neurodiversity, which is, and I did check before I bought it, is Devon Price, PhD, a social psychologist, professor, author, and proud autistic person. So I thought, okay.
Oh, so you haven't read the book yet?
Nope.
All right, so you're recommending it, but you haven't read it.
Exactly. I'm recommending it.
Well, I hope it lives up to your expectations.
Well, I'm just recommending based on what Amazon people say, and it's an 85% 5-star rating.
Okay.
So I'm recommending you read the recommendations.
Well, I'm going to wait until you... Oh, okay, yes. I will wait until you've read this book, told me it's amazing, if you do, next time. And then I'm going to tell you what my recommendation is.
Go for it.
First of all, I should say I've been on the bandwagon of M. Rusciano for probably about 12 years, just so we all know that I've been there since she was doing small comedy act things. Anyway, I'm still here, and she just recently, was it last week, did the National Press Club speech, and it was exceptional. So if anyone wants to watch that, it's on iView. It's a catch-up, I think it was last week, and also you can listen to it on her podcast, Emsolation, which is on Spotify only. You can listen to it. She also posts that. But yeah, so she's got a weekly podcast, actually twice weekly, which I love listening to as well. I don't know if I relate to her. I'm not sure that we could be friends, but I do love listening to everything. She comes at things with different angles and different perspectives that I haven't thought of before.
And that's what you want.
It's exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to listen to it. Everyone agreeing with you. It's not a nice world if everyone's agreeing with each other.
No.
I saw it as well. I thought it was amazing. And again, yeah, I don't. A bit like the friend I was telling you about. That sometimes it gets a little. That energy is a bit too much for me. I find it overwhelming.
That's why we couldn't be friends with her, could we?
That's right. So we're never going to be friends.
So do you think that I can be a bit much then sometimes?
No.
Oh. What, do you have something nice to say about me that you can think of that you might want to compliment me?
I was hoping we were going to forget this.
No, I haven't. I said to Dan that I think that each week he should actually compliment me. In some way, it'd be a really nice thing because it's good for him to learn because he's not very good at compliments.
She's taking this from my wife.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I told your wife.
Oh, for God's
to
sake.
get you to compliment her. So anyway, just think of something nice. Just something nice to say about me.
But I can't just come up with it on the spot.
Do you mean to help? I help.
What do you mean you're going to help? How's that going to be useful?
Oh, that's true. I shouldn't do that. I just want it to be real. So I'm just waiting. Be real. Go. Something nice.
At the top of my head, you didn't sound like a radio voice during this podcast.
Oh.
It was it was fantastic.
I felt it real. Thank you. Okay, do you want me to say something nice about you too?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned for next week. And I get another compliment.
It's not going to happen. See you next week.
Bye.